Hi, and welcome to Live with Connie. Today, my guest star is the fabulous Rebekah with Suricata Crafts. I hope I said that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. How I said your channel name.
It's Suricata. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 I think everyone knows I'm not the best at pronouncing things. Um, and like I can just like hear it, and I go to do it later on, and it's like I still mess it up. It's like I want to go back to how I'm thinking it is in my mind. But yes, we have Rebekah with us today. And let's see. I know Samantha was at least here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. And Deneen says she has a couple of errands. Hope to catch some of your show. So I guess she's going to be coming around later. I don't think she's still here either. And we also have Ashley and Roberta and Tina. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all currently working on? And if y'all haven't checked out Sunflower's Creative Showcase and Crochet channel and Adventures with Mama Tina's channel, go check them out. They have amazing channels. And let's see, we have Keith here. How are you doing today? And what is everyone working on and how are y'all doing? And I also want to welcome those that will be watching on replay. And if you do watch the replay, please let us know. Leave a comment. Let's see. We have another Tina here, Camper 14. Hi, Tina. How are you? And what are you working on? Yeah, I always think it's funny, like when we get like all the people with the same names in the chat. There's been times I've had 5 crystals. Oh, it may have been 6. I know it was definitely 5.
It throws me off when there's lots of Rebekahs in there. There's at least 2 more that join chat and they say Rebekah and my head whips around.
I know every now and then, like, there's other Connies too. And I'm not used to that because, like, growing up, I didn't come across really other Connies.
Right.
In junior high, there was a girl named Constance. As you know, and some people did call her Connie, but that was the only other kind of Connie that I experienced for most of my life.
I grew up and there was a girl in our class who even spelt it the same way.
Yeah, I like this how like yours is spelled. I love that spelling. It's like very old school.
Yeah, no, when I was growing up, my parents were Salvation Army officers, and I have 4 brothers, and we're all named after biblical characters. So there's Matthew, Timothy, David, Rebekah, and Joshua. So
Yeah,
we're all Bible characters.
but for some reason, like Rebekah spelled the biblical way. I always love, the spelling, from then.
Yeah.
And let's see, we also have Melanie that joined us and Jody. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Let's see. Keith is working on an amigurumi pig. Aw, that's going to be cute. I'd love to see it when you finish it. And Mama Tina is working on Bagoday's newest shawl, Live of My Is it Love of My Life?
Love of My Life.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I
Oh,
love
it's
Bagoday
beautiful.
shawls.
It's beautiful.
Her shawls always are.
Mm.
And let's see. Oh, we have someone else working on an amigurumi animal. Roberta's working on an elephant. Felt the need to create after yesterday. Awesome. So no gnomes. Always say Roberta's the gnome queen.
Always.
And let's see. Tina finished her corner to corner blanket working on a matching pillow for her granddaughter. Oh, awesome. I'd love to see pictures of it. And then pictures of the pillow too when you finish that. And she says it's not corner to corner, but same colors. And Roberta says, if it helps, my ex-husband still called me Rebekah after 26 years.
That's
How,
funny.
how did he get Rebekah from Roberta, though?
I always get Rachel. Always Rachel.
Or is that maybe your middle name or something? Because sometimes people are called by their middle names.
Mm.
And we have Brenda that joined us. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Mom Martina says she also has her Killer Queen shawl in progress. I get bored, so I just work multiple. Yeah.
I always have multiples on the go.
Sometimes that happens. I don't like having as many multiples because I worry about completing them. But I do have more now than what I usually do.
Well, I usually have a crochet and a knit and a Tunisian crochet and usually a spinning project on the go.
Yeah. I usually have a crochet, a knitted, and my temperature blanket.
Oh, yeah, that too.
But with crochet, I do have 2 blankets that kind of take back burner. Well, one especially. The peppermint blanket's been on back burner for a while now. And the textured one that I'm making, that I work on off and on.
Okay.
It might take me a few years to get that one finished the rate I'm going though.
I have a sweater and I also do historical costuming, and it's knit from an 1898 bicycling sweater pattern. And I did it the first time in sheep's yarn. And even though I did a swatch, it came out much, much smaller. And I tried to correct it as I went, and it was beyond hope. So I'm redoing this one, but in an organic cotton this time, and it's slow going. By the end of the first sweater, I was bored. Didn't really need a second sleeve.
It's funny how some projects just seem to be slow going, and then others you just seem to
Whip right out.
exactly. And it's like, what makes that difference? And and I see it when it's not even like it's more complicated stitches or anything. They're all like both projects are basic stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it some projects we just can't seem to motivate ourselves on as much?
I'm having the exact problem right now. I have 2 blankets that I'm working on that I need to finish. And I reward myself by, if I work so long on the blankets, then I can work on my own projects for a while. I try to do equal time. Sometimes my own projects win a little bit more.
And let's see. Melanie says she loves Naomi and Ruth from the Bible. And Roberta says that's why the one that called her Rebekah is an ex. For one. Let's see. We have Nisi here. Hi, Nisi. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? I don't know if you noticed or not. This past Sunday, I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it or not. But anyway, thank you about the beanie. Yeah, I love this is one that I love that I made. It was initially supposed to be for Frank, but like he could never put it on properly. He had it like all over the place. And I was like, I'm just gonna take the hat from you, Frank. You don't know how to wear it.
Her son has a habit of stealing hats too. If he likes it, then he starts wearing it and it never gets returned.
Yeah, because like you see how he didn't know how to you see, like he'd have it like all over the place. Now I gotta fix it again.
Stack it up properly.
And Brenda says she is doing well working on Crystal's Bagaudet new shawl pattern. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that pattern out.
It's nice.
I didn't notice she put a new one out.
I think it came out yesterday.
But she makes some beautiful shawl patterns.
Sure does. I really like her Killer Queen one as well, but I don't have the right yarn for it or the time for it right now, so it's on my future to-do list.
Nisi says, I'm listening while she sorts and cleans her craft room. Ooh, good luck getting it sorted. That's something I need to do, is sort all my yarn again. It's like you do it and then it never stays sorted.
I tend to pull things down. I'm like, I'm going to use that very soon, so I should take it down so I don't forget where I put it. And then I can't find it, and I have to choose another yarn and pull that off the shelf. And then I find the other yarn, and then I have to find a new project for that yarn.
And the yarn you need is always like one of the last yarns you get to. It never fails.
Hmm.
Let's see. Tina says, I usually follow tutorials, so can only handle one project at a time. I watch way too many videos trying to support my yarny friends. Yeah, videos can get time consuming. And let's see. Roberta says you could skip the second sleeve, start a new trend.
Well, it would definitely be a new trend because this sweater has the large Victorian balloon sleeves. So I'd have one balloon and one empty.
Awesome. And Mama Tina says the newest is very easy for Bagaudet shawl. And we have Sally that joined us. Hi, Sally. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Roberta says famous last words. I'll put this right where I can find it, then never find it again. Oh, Frank loves to do the thing where he moves something, then he asks me where something is. And I'm like, you had it last.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to say that he didn't. And then sure enough, when we find it, he had it last.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
live with 3 boys. I know exactly what that's.
All right, I'm going to let Rebekah tell y'all more about herself and her channel.
Hi, my name is Rebekah, and I'm with Suricata Crafts. I've gotten a lot of questions. Suricata, it means meerkat, and I don't really agree with the term spirit animal, but if I could encapsulate an animal, it would be a meerkat. I knit and crochet and spin and weave and dye yarn. I will try any craft. I haven't found a single craft I haven't liked. I've designed a few patterns, but haven't written them down. So that's in my future plans, is to post a unique tutorial. I am a military wife. We live in Canada, and my husband teaches electronic repair, we'll say. And I have 2 boys that are 12 and 14. Lucas is 14 and very, very tall. He's taller than I am, and I'm 5'8". And Oliver is a sweet kid just turning into a teenager. So I've just started my YouTube channel. I'm maybe 6 weeks in, but loving the journey so far. I sell yarn for a living. I manage a yarn department, a large one, and here in Ontario. And I used to spend all day, well, I still spend all day teaching the basics of yarn, like why you should choose a certain yarn for a project and what weight it should be and why. I have lots of customers who bring their projects in, and I help them find out where they went wrong and fix it. I had a lady in yesterday, and she decided to learn cabling. So she started with an Aran sweater, which would not be my suggestion to start a cable, but she was doing really well. But then she didn't know to search for dye lot. And when she started her second ball of yarn, it was such a different color. So I helped her find the right enough of the right dye lot, and then pulled it back for her and showed her how to pick up her stitches and reset her counter. And so I do this on a daily basis. So I thought if I had some of the basics in a spot that people could go and refer to quite easily, it would be easier for them.
Yeah, and it's always like I love helping people learn new things or like motivate them to learn something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, one thing that how you were talking about spirit animals, it reminded me of one time I went to the doctor's office and Frank's talking to the nurse and said that he was my emotional support animal.
That's funny.
And they just cracked up laughing. Because I don't really like going to the doctor. So usually when I go, like I like Frank with me, but for a while, of course, they wouldn't let you have other people in the room. Well, it depended on which doctor it was, but
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, he's my emotional support animal. Gotta take him everywhere.
I have what we refer to as alphabet soup of conditions. I have 6 autoimmune diseases, so I see a lot of doctors. And those 2 years where I had to go into every appointment by myself, I only take in about 25% of what they're saying. And then my husband always like, well, that's not exactly what they said. This is what I heard.
Yeah. And the thing is that like, I tend to understand a good bit of what they say because I used to work at a hospital as a secretary, and I also worked at a doctor's office in medical records. And I took whenever I was in school, I took a medical terminology course. So, I usually have a pretty, decent knowledge. I mean, there's a lot I don't know, but I'm usually at least familiar with what they're talking about to some level.
I do a lot of coming home and Googling. Like, what does that even mean? Like, there was one, I have a throat condition, and he had to spell it out for me really slowly and then explain what every single part of it meant because I had no idea what any part of it meant.
The sad thing is, like, I have trouble pronouncing the words. It's
Absolutely.
like I'm not good at like scientific words.
Medications get me all the different medicines. I can't pronounce them properly, but the pharmacy always seems to know what I mean.
Exactly. Let's see, we have Jamie that joined us. Hi, Jamie. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And let's see. Tina says, just joined a grandma's throw, but haven't started yet with Carrie and the Eunice sisters through Messenger. Oh, that's cool. And Sally's working on a daisy granny square blanket for a niece who's having a baby in June. Congratulations. Yeah, I know I have seen some form of a daisy granny square, and I really like those. Those are really pretty. Roberta says I do that with the dentist. Got to have a hand holder for that.
Yeah, I don't do the dentist well. I try really hard not to push my fears onto my children either, but it's hard when they see how scared I am of the dentist not to get scared too.
So do you have any whips or finished objects you want to show everybody?
Well, right now, I used to do Highland dance, and my former dance teacher she's hosting a Ukrainian family. So if you can see this, I'm working on a twin size blanket for the mother that she's hosting. And I believe there's children coming as well. And right here, this I just finished. This is made with David Browning's The Bearded Yarn Dude.
Mm-hmm.
His Tunisian mesh stitch shawl, and it's done up with Red Heart's Roll With It, I think it's called.
Yeah, I know there is one called that.
Yeah, the Roll With It melange, I think. In I know it's called Gossip. And I'm working on 2 more shawls. This one is one of the patterns from Tony Lipsy. I think this one's the Lamia. And it's done, I got a Hobie Lucky Bag, and it had the Colorina in it. And that way. And it was just, I couldn't do an unboxing video because I had to get my hands on the yarn and get started.
I love those shawls, and I love the colors of the yarn.
Things. I love the bright shawls, and I like to wear them to work. And it's a conversation starter. People are like, "That's beautiful. You know, how did you do it?" And then Tunisian crochet isn't as well known or as popular as regular crochet. So I love to start the conversation and let them know, like, it's so easy. You just try, and I'll help you through it.
That's actually something that I do want to learn how to do this year. It's Tunisian crochet.
It's so fast. Like this, this is another one of Tony's patterns. Make sure I'm showing you the front. And it desperately needs to be blocked. But it's
pretty.
This is done with shawl in a ball and painted desert. And it's just like, it's light and airy and meshy, and it's just whipping up so fast, and I just love it. Yeah. And I have a lot of finished objects, but I usually do them for other people, and then they're gone as soon as they're done. Yesterday, tomorrow is actually my friend Caitlin's birthday, and I made an amigurumi donkey. And I'm going to do just a quick little video about how I did it up. It's made with a ribbon yarn, which was the first time I'd worked with it. And I don't know if I do amigurumi with it anymore. But it worked up fast, and he's a nice, sturdy little donkey.
Awesome. And let's see, we have Cheryl that joined us. Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? Jamie's working on cleaning her house. And I think a lot of us will say, can you come clean ours too? And let's see. Roberta says that she gets panic attacks. The doctor phobias for dentists. And Nisi is on lunch break. Ooh, awesome. See, Roberta's trying to get Jamie to volunteer. And Jamie wants to know if it's tax deductible.
Absolutely.
It should be.
That's an essential service.
All right. So Rebekah also dyes yarn and she spins yarn. Do you have any, close by that you want to show everybody?
Yeah. Just up here on the top of my shelf, let me go this way. These are all yarns that my son Lucas and I dyed. And this
I love the colors.
I'm really excited about this one. I got these 2 wooden bases from Hobie for a basket bottom, and we dyed some of the ribbon yarn. I got white, and I wanted one to be bright and one pastel. So the bright one has wide repeats, and the pastel one has short repeats. So they'll be the same, they'll match but be different. It's like when you do your eyebrows, you have cousins, not sisters, right? So they'll be similar but not exactly the same.
They're beautiful.
Thanks. It was really fun to do. I actually, like 3 days before, I was in a car accident, and Lucas was doing so much of the video for me. It was great. He's such a handy kid. Guy to have around. And then I'm continuing. I did a video a little while ago about making a drop spindle. And I've been making more of the purple yarn, but I'm almost ready to switch over to my spinning wheel. Drop spindling. Well, I spent one day when I first started spinning, I spent 7 hours spinning up yarn, like one ply of yarn, so one strand of yarn, and then picked up my spinning wheel and had the same amount done in about 45 minutes. So
awesome.
The drop spindle is like meditative. Like it's mesmerizing to watch, and it's really enjoyable to do. But when you want to get things done, you go on the spinning wheel.
Awesome. See, that's something I would love to one day start getting into, like spinning yarn and hand dyeing yarn.
It's a lot of fun. The only thing about spinning is the fiber can be so expensive. Like you're spending more for the fiber to spin it and then potentially dye it and then knit it than you would to buy it pre-spun. So it's the process that you enjoy. You're not doing it because it's cheaper.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case sometimes.
I love to go, like they call it sheep to shawl. So they shear the sheep and you process the yarn and pick it and comb it all out and do it into bats, which is almost like a roving kind of. And then you spin it up and then you dye it and then you knit it or crochet it. And you've done the entire process. It's so rewarding. They actually have competition. So you have a team of 4 people and you start, and in one day or in the weekend, you do the whole process as a team. One day, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And let's see, Cheryl says she's great. She's knitting a chevron blanket for her son who's going off to university. Awesome. And I would love to see your blanket when you finish it. Melanie's packing and cleaning and lurking. Oh, and we have Chris that joined us and Dee. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all currently working on? And let's see. Roberta thinks she saw the drop spindle one.
Yeah, I made it with a dowel and some like Sculpey, like the oven baked clay. So it's really something anybody can do, and it's a super cheap way to get started.
And Roberta says we need some Angora.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Dee, I had tried to send you an email the other day, but the email didn't go through. I don't know if it's just one port on your channel where it had the email wrong, but if you could send me an email, that would be awesome. That way I can I want to get with you on a couple of things that I think you might be interested in. Okay, let's see. Oh, one thing before I forget to bring this up. I'm thinking about Well, I'm pretty much sure I'm gonna go back to doing 3 lives a week instead of 4. 4 is kind of getting to be too much for me, and I find I struggle, especially when it comes to the Wednesday evening and Thursday morning live. They're too close together, and I'm trying to decide which one to to eliminate. So I need y'all input on this because I want to try to do, keep the one that more people works for more people to attend. But when it comes to Thursday, if that's the one I keep, I would probably push it back to like 10:30 in the morning or 11 in the morning.
I don't often catch the Wednesday night one because Zingo is at the same time, but I always catch the Thursday one with my earbuds at work.
And the thing was, it's like initially I did an evening live because I wanted something in the evening for those that were working during the day. Especially like, those that work like the typical like 9 to 5, 8 to 5 type jobs. So I thought like doing an evening one would work better, for some people. But I do find that it seems like more people watch the Thursday morning than the Wednesday evening. I have noticed that. Um, but but I do want to, put it out there and give y'all a say in which one. But like I said, if I keep the Thursday, I'd probably push it back a little later in the morning where it's not so early in the morning. And if I would eliminate the Wednesday, then I'll change my Monday, call that one Coffee with Connie.
I like that.
So kind of in the morning. But yeah, let me know which ones y'all find work, which one out of those two work better for you. But I think a lot of times on Wednesday, I think some people are busy like cooking dinner and stuff like that. So, but I want to try to do what's best for, y'all that watch my lives. But I'll probably put a poll up later today asking which works better.
That's a good idea.
But I don't really like changing my live schedule up too much, because I like that consistency. But
I think it's hard to work around all of the content creators who all have their own schedules.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too.
Conflict.
For the Thursday morning, I don't I kind of, want to try to go with a time that that there's not really as many people going live.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really sure what time everyone goes live. Usually, whenever I go to lives, I see who's on at the time that I'm scrolling YouTube, and I'm like, okay, let me go in and say hi. It's like I don't remember what time most people actually go live.
I remember Granny D's, and I remember yours. And I try not to miss those two. And then, Affordably Geeky. I always catch their 2 lives. But other than that, it's hit or miss if I get in or not.
It's like I don't remember times. Even Granny D's is when I do remember more, but I'll get the times confused because she's a different time zone.
Right. I'm lucky I'm in the same time zone as her. So Granny D at 5 is actually at 5.
Yeah, and like Melanie with Hook to the Left, I always remember hers. But like I said, most of the time, if I see someone on, whenever I scroll, I'll pop in. Let's see. Okay, D, my email, I just put it on the screen. It's just another stitch 2020 at gmail.com. Let's see, where was I on everything? I lost my place in the chat. Okay, Dee says she's working on finishing her dining room rug and working on a basket. Ooh, nice. Yeah, Roberta says the late night one is harder for me. And that's where initially I would have thought that that would be better for people, but I am questioning more if, that one works as good for people. Roberta says Thursday morning coffee is good. Barbara has hers in the morning. And that's another thing too. Me and Barbara have been talking about doing a collab live where like we'd go, once a month, where 1 month we'd be on my channel, 1 month would be on hers.
I love collaborations. I love watching two different personalities interact and see what comes out. I love it together.
So that is something too that we're probably going to be, we're talking about starting that in May. So, but that's just like once a month. So it won't be as rough with so many lives during the week. Oh, another live, speaking of, before I forget to mention this, the 5 Yarnaholics are going live tomorrow. And initially it was supposed to be on Lisa with Coping with Yarns channel, but now it's going to be on my channel. So it's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on my channel. And we're going to have lots of fun, and there's going to be some small prizes, and it's always, it's always nice to catch up with the girls. Granted, most of us talk on a regular basis though, but yeah, that live is tomorrow. Okay, Jody says the evening one isn't for her. See, like some people put theirs in the description box of their videos, but a lot of channels don't have their live schedule there. I mean, you can kind of see sometimes if you look, on to some degree, if like those that have their live scheduled already, but it's still kind of hard to really pinpoint. I know Granny D always talks about trying to get a list together of when everyone goes live.
That would be very handy.
But my live schedule is in the description box of all my videos. So if y'all ever have questions about when I go live, it's there. And when I make these, whenever I adapt it, go back to 3 times a week, that will be there too. I'll update it.
Okay.
And in my, those videos going forward, my older videos will have the old schedule, but yeah, I will make that change in the description boxes. And let's see. Oh, it looks like I got a super chat. Thank you so much, Dee. I really appreciate that. So y'all know what time it is, huh? It's biscuit time. As soon as I find the video, here it is.
Hi everyone, this is the Biscuit. Thank you for sending Connie a super chat.
And again, thank you so much for the super chat, Dee. And let's see. I keep losing my place.
Well, why so fast?
It does sometimes. It really does. Yeah, Nisi says it's impossible to find an empty or free spot. Most of us jump between lives. It's the nature of YouTube. Yeah, and that's true too. So I'll probably be, against somebody else, with my live time. But But if I can kind of avoid it to some degree, you know,
choose a time with the least amount of conflict.
yeah. Okay, Dee, I'll look at my emails later today, and I'll be probably emailing you either later today or tomorrow. Oh, we have Brenda that joined us with Bears Crochet Critters. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Mo Martina says, I was just checking my emails, and Mary Maxim has yarn as low as $1.99 through Monday.
Mary Maxim is a little over an hour away from me, the Canadian one. Well, no, about 2 hours, and then Spin Right Factory, which is Your Inspirations, is like an hour away from me. They're having a giant tent sale coming up. Going on a road trip with my new car.
Yeah, Mary Maxim, it's like, I love their yarn. They have some beautiful yarn. I just placed a big order from Hirschner's.
Hirschner's isn't shipped to Canada.
Which some of these yarn, like, well, a good bit of the yarn that I ordered will be in my collaboration giveaway coming up.
Is the collaboration giveaway shipped to
Canada? Unfortunately, I have to do US only. And
that's all right. I completely understand. Like, our shipping, even within the country, like, my mother lives in New Brunswick, which is a couple provinces, but about 14 hours drive. And I easily spend $60 to ship her a parcel. So it surprised me that some of my American friends are like, well, it might cost like $15 to ship it. Like, $15? That's nothing. That's nothing. I'll pay $15. Yeah, no, we're used to expensive shipping.
And that's the thing. It's like, it's so expensive with international.
It doubles the price.
And I mean, like, I've heard what some people have had to spend on like a small package.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I understand.
And, and I want to have a physical prize for my collab.
Right.
And then, like, I know, like, I can't afford international shipping. And I know there's others that are going to be participating on my collab that can't either. But I do, you know, I feel bad about it, you know, because I know, you know, those that live internationally get left out of giveaways so much. And it's like, but one thing I usually do, you know, like my next giveaway, I'll probably do a gift card, you know, like my one after that. So I do try to, you know, do it where I have some giveaways that
are all inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. It's ridiculously expensive.
But it's like, I always feel bad about that. And I thought, you know, part of me thought about doing it, you know, but then it was like I would have to do, you know, a gift card. And it's like, I really wanted yarn.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe down the road I might do one that's a collab, that's a gift card. Just have to see. And then what's bad is, like, another thing too, is like, usually, you know, I allot so much for giveaways. So if I go and I buy yarn, I don't always have that extra income allotted to give an option.
Yeah.
So
spend $30 on yarn and $30 to ship it.
I know, and that's one thing that's why sometimes I do prefer doing gift cards, because what you pay on the shipping, it's like, okay, you could have gotten more yarn.
Twice the amount of yarn.
And especially if you're placing an order where you can get like free shipping, you know, where there's a coupon code, or you ordered enough where you get the free shipping, you know. So But I know a lot of times people like having the package in the
Yeah.
mail.
It's the happy mail.
It's something about getting a
surprises.
package.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love mail that you don't have to pay for? Like, just happy mail.
But I am aiming, I'm hoping that like the videos, like, I hadn't set a date yet when we're going to start posting the videos yet on it. I'm waiting to see when Hirschner's says I'm going to be getting,
Mm-hmm.
order from them, and then I'll set it a few days. But I am hoping that it'll be the first week of May sometime.
Okay.
So the collab giveaway, it is coming. And that's another thing too. If there's any content creators that want to participate, let me know. I did send an email out to a lot of content creators, but if you didn't get an email from me, all you got to do is contact me and say, hey, I'm interested.
I just saw a message from Dee, and as soon as we're done the live, I'll send you a quick email.
Okay. But yeah,
I made a huge mistake. I entered Dee's Creative Hands. I entered her giveaway and didn't read the rules all the way through. I was just so excited about yarn. And it was US only. So I had to put her in the awful position to have to say, sorry, I have to draw somebody else. But she's being a darling and sending me a consolation prize.
aw.
Which she doesn't have to do. So she's such a kind lady.
That was so sweet of her. But yeah, like I said, like, for those that want to participate in my collab, it is, it is going to be US only. Now, some channels may do kind of like how Dana with Wonderless Crochet did, where they may let other people enter, where they pick someone internationally. Sometimes, some of the channels may still send them a small prize, and then pick someone else that lives in the US to be the semifinalist type thing, which I don't have a problem with that. But like whoever the semifinalists for the channel, it has to be, US only.
Right.
But like I said, if you want to send more prizes out to your people, I don't, like I said, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm also giving the option to, like, because I know, like, again, some channels may not be able to afford as much, where I'm leaving it up to the channels if they're going to send their semifinalists a prize or not. But everyone would have to send the grand prize winner a prize.
Right.
So that's one thing I'm trying to do to help cut costs, for some that want to participate that can't afford, 2 prizes maybe, But anyway.
Well, if you wanted, if the entries haven't closed, I could do a giveaway for like just Canada. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that way all your Canadian viewers aren't left out too.
Because like I said, we hadn't started posting videos or anything. I just basically have, been getting, finding out who's interested in participating, and I'll be sending more information once I find out, when my Hirschner's order should be likely to come,
Yeah.
Because, I want to, like, when I do my video, I want to show the yarn that I'm giving away.
And you always run the risk that that specific yarn might not show up. And if you've already promised it to somebody, that's a problem.
I've never had that problem with Hirschner's. Now, Joann's.
That's another story. we don't have Joann's up here, but we have Michael's. And you can place an order to Michael's all at the same time. So say you order 10 balls of yarn, all the same type. You might be getting 2 from British Columbia, 1 from New Brunswick, a couple from different stores in Ontario. It doesn't come from a warehouse. They ship it from all the individual stores. So you might get 8. They're going to come 6 weeks apart, and you're not going to match your dye lots.
See, like with Joann's, one thing they did to me, and I did not like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I placed my order, and I had spent like $200 on yarn, and the thing was that they they initially charged the credit card. Then as they were shipping, which the initial charge is supposed to be a temporary charge.
Right.
Okay. Then as they're shipping, they're charging you again.
Really?
So they eventually release the initial, where you're only getting charged technically one time, but at some point your card is holding on to double the amount.
Wow.
And that I have issues with.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't know to budget to leave twice as much room in your card.
I mean, it's kind of like how the gas stations will charge you like more than what the gas costs. But at least with a gas station, I understand why they do it. Before you pump, they don't know how much gas you're putting in.
We always have to pay at the pump first. So you say, I'm going to fill with $60. And then once you fill your tank or hit $60, it stops, but you're paying $60 regardless. And then they refund you the money if you haven't hit 60. These days, we're always hitting 60.
There's places that will hold like $100.
That's not quite right.
And it may even have gone up. I always tell Frank, it's like, yeah, if you're paying with a debit card, just go inside and pay the amount of gas you want. It's like that way they don't do the holding thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but our gas prices have skyrocketed. Like we do by liters, not by gallons. And we're almost, they say by summer we'll be paying $2 a liter, which means like my husband has a truck and it's going to cost like $200 to fill the truck.
Yeah, gas has been going up here. Crazy. Let's see, we have some new people that joined us. We have Vanitza, Samantha. Let's see. I know I saw a few other names. Joanne Dolan. Lisa the Grammy. I think that's everybody. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? And let's see. Lisa says she's making a pocket shawl for her other sister. Awesome. Ooh, Nisi's having leftover spaghetti for lunch. I haven't had spaghetti in a while.
It always tastes better the next day.
Tina says, I'm getting behind on my videos because I'm watching too many lives. They are a little longer. There's one tonight at 7 Eastern, but I have a birthday party to go to. Yes, Nisi, if you have finished objects pictures, send them to my email. Or you can also post them in my Facebook group too. But yeah, my finished objects videos are the 15th of every month. And I love getting pictures from y'all. I love seeing y'all makes.
I love watching them.
Lisa said, nobody ate breakfast yet, so omelets and sausages. I haven't eaten yet either today.
I was a little nervous, so I was nervously eating before the live. Just, I was eating chips and dip.
Yeah, usually first time going live, everyone gets nervous.
It's working out great. I'm not nervous anymore.
Awesome. And I mean, I still get nervous going live.
You're a pro. You can't tell at all.
Sometimes I do, because sometimes I do worry, or I feel like I'm messing up, and I'm like, oh, I hope nobody noticed how nervous I sounded, or because a lot of times I feel it more than I think. Like when I go back and like watch the live later, I'm like, okay, it didn't show like I thought it did.
Yeah, no, it feels a whole lot more like a video chat with a friend than I'm live on the internet.
See, that's how I try to do things, where, we all get to know each other and hopefully become friends,
Well, I can't get over how welcoming this community is. Like, I'm just new and people learn my name. They greet me when I come into a chat. They remember things about me. Like, I never expected it. I honestly thought that I'd have 20 subscribers and I knew them all personally, and then I'd just make videos for me and them.
Yeah, I mean the Yarny community is awesome, and I love chatting with everybody, getting to know people better, and if y'all have questions on crochet knitting, ask me. I'll do what I can to try to help you.
I do a lot of one-on-one video chats helping, well, I was going to say friends and family, but some of them I've never met before. And just walking them through their issue or getting started even.
And hey, if you just want to chit chat, go email me. I'll chit chat with you.
We'll set up a video date. We're military, so we're used to having friends all over the country. So video chat is our main form of communication.
Yep, it's like I feel like I'm always like doing lives and videos, and granted this week wasn't a good video week for me though, because I had a lot of headaches like this week.
Yeah, I saw that you canceled one of your lives.
And then
is it spring allergies?
I don't know, because it's not like I really feel like my allergies are really acting up. So I don't know. I know like the sunlight affects me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like between that and it's like I've been sleeping more this week. Like yesterday, I slept like most of the afternoon and the evening.
That sounds like my perfect day.
And even this morning, I slept in later. Like normally, I get up around 6:37ish in the morning, but today it was, I think, close to 9 that I got up.
Okay. I'm an odd one. I go to bed 7 or 8 o'clock, and then I'm up at 5. And I like the few hours that I have in the morning before everybody else is up to work on my projects and enjoy my coffee before the chaos of the day starts.
But yeah, and that's where I was planning to get some work on tutorials this week, and I don't see it happening for this week. Like I said, I feel like every time I mention, oh, I'm going to do a tutorial, this week,
instant headache.
Something happens where like I don't get it done. I'm like, I'm going to stop mentioning that I'm going to do one.
Spontaneously
do it. and just do it whenever, you know.
Yeah.
But I need to get better with, you know, tutorials, like, because I really do want to offer more tutorials on my channel, and that is a goal of mine. It just hasn't been going as smoothly as I would like.
They're tricky, and I found it's a lot of work to do a tutorial because you
It
have to make
is.
sure that what you're filming is actually perfectly right, because somebody else is going to be following that, and if you make a mistake, then they're going to make the same mistake. So it's a lot of perfection, a lot of pressure.
And then sometimes you film, and then it's like, you know, something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you know, like one time I know I went out of camera view a lot.
Uh-huh. I
um
do that a lot too.
and or like you realize you forgot to say something. And yeah, so sometimes it's a lot of going back and forth. And one time on my camera, the you know how you turn your camera and it changes view?
Yeah.
Well, it did it even though like it was positioned how it was supposed to be, somehow it changed view on me.
Okay.
I was like, ah. But yeah, I that tutorials is something that I really want to try to do more of, because I know everyone loves tutorials.
Sure do.
So let's see, we have Charity that joined us, and I I think I told Dorla hi, but I'm not sure. If not, hi Dorla. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all currently working on? Let's see. See if I've missed anything. Roberta's asking, are the giveaways tax deductible as advertising? I really don't know. I mean, I know a lot of things can be used as tax deductibles. That's kind of like you know, really so much can be. But but like I said, for that I don't know for sure how that would work.
Well, if you're doing YouTube as a business, you should be able to deduct the purchase of the giveaways and the shipping as a business expense.
But sometimes your standard deductible you come out better than, you know, because you really have to have a lot of you know, of deductibles for it to be worth it, to do it like, you know, where you're itemizing your deductibles.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, Vanita. Oh no, I'm gonna keep you in my prayers. I'm so sorry. Hmm. So do the doctors seem to be able to do much for you, or let's see. I mean, I mean, I might be able to do it like that, Roberta, but I already placed an order on this one, so it's too late now. Um, but it is kind of harder to show, you know. I don't. I'd probably have to do like screenshots if I was going to do it that way. But that is an idea. And then like people would also have to be okay with it being shipped directly from the company. But I mean, if I would do it that way, I would state it that way.
My husband did mention to me that I'm buying things from Amazon, where we have Amazon Prime, and shipping them to me so I can pay to ship them to somebody else. And I could save them shipping by shipping directly to them. But I just like to hold it and check it first.
I know there's something about actually seeing it up close. Because I know like some of the yarn that I'm ordering, I'm kind of curious what it feels like and looks like because I'm like, I might order some of that for me later on.
Absolutely.
Okay, Samantha's asking what you're working on.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a blanket. It's made with Bernat blanket yarn and a size 10 hook, a 10 millimeter hook. It's super simple. It's just a crochet one, chain one, and then skip a space. It's working up so fast. I love it. I love it. If I've got to do a blanket, I want it to be a fast one.
I know it's awesome whenever stuff works up fast, especially blankets, because blankets are more time consuming.
They sure are. And this one is for a Ukrainian family. Canada's having a large influx of refugees. So we have friends who are hosting a refugee family. So they left and they only had what they wore. So we're trying to make them comfortable and help them establish something here.
And let's see, Tina has to go. I hope you have a good day, Tina. I think Dee was trying to get your email address, Rebekah.
Yeah, I'll send her an email as soon as we're done.
Let's see. Okay, Samantha loves your blanket.
Thanks, Samantha.
And let's see. I'm kind of skimming the comments to catch up. So I'm getting behind. now I feel like I can't ever stay like caught up on the chat comments like I would like to.
You have to follow the chat all the time or we wouldn't have a chance to have a conversation.
Okay. One thing that I want to do before we run out of time to do this is I have some free patterns that I found on Ravelry to share with everybody. And these are all crochet fingerless glove patterns. And I have all the links for these patterns in the description box of this live if anyone's interested in making these. And before I pull them up, I see we have Crystal and Amanda that joined us. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? Okay, let me get to the patterns. Okay, the first one is called Fingerless Gloves by Olivia Kent. And look at how gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
It looks like they're either using like the popcorn stitch or like a puff stitch. But I love how it looks. And I love those type of stitches. The puffy ones. I think they just add like a beautiful texture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the first pattern. And now let's get to the second. Okay, the second one is Store Stitch Fingerless Gloves by Raffaella Tassoni. And I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But look at how pretty these are. I think the Store Stitch is really pretty.
It is.
Let's see, show some of the other pictures of it. So that's the second set. And most of y'all know I'm kind of on a fingerless glove kick lately. I haven't done fingerless gloves with crochet yet, but I knitted my first pair of gloves with fingers, and I'm currently working on knitting a pair of fingerless gloves, which are very close to being finished.
I made a pair of really lacy ones to go with one of my historical costumes. And I made it with lighter than lace weight. And they took forever.
Yeah, the gloves I've done so far have been using number 4 weighted yarn,
Okay.
but I do get that impression that using number 1 weighted, they take a good bit good bit of time to make.
Yeah, it goes so slow.
Okay. This one is and I'm trying to remember how to say that word. I think
Huga.
Huga?
Huga.
Huga. Yeah. And I even looked this up this morning to make sure I was saying it right, and I already forgot how to say it properly. The Huga Arrow Gloves, and it's by the same designer as the last pattern, Raffaella Tassoni. And look at how pretty. And I love the arrow stitch, which that's going to be my next crochet tutorial I do, will be on that stitch whenever I finally get to it. Because I'm not jinxing myself. I would say this coming week, but I know if I say it, it's not going to happen. But yeah, I love how it looks.
It's beautiful.
And okay, I got 2 more patterns to show y'all. Let's see. This is the Easy and Quick Fingerless Gloves by Erin Castellaneta, something like that. And I really love the look of the button. I find it gives it that extra oomph, you know?
Mm-hmm. A nice little detail.
Yeah, sometimes those little details make such a big difference. And now for the last one. And I love the look on this last one. This one is called Dragon Scale Fingerless Gloves by the Yarnivore UK. And look at how pretty. And I think that's a crocodile stitch. I'm not positive.
They're beautiful.
I hadn't looked at the actual like write-up of the pattern to see. But I think that's the stitch. But I love the effect this one has.
I've never seen it done in a mohair.
What was that?
I've never seen them done up in a mohair. The brown pair that you showed just before had a halo to it. That one there. It's interesting with the, looks more like feathers.
Yeah, that's what I like about that stitch. It really does kind of look like feathers. So that's the last of the patterns that I'm sharing today. And like I said, all the links are in the description box of this live for those that are interested in making those. Let's see. Amanda says she still struggles to understand patterns. I find the best way to learn how to read patterns is find a video tutorial that has a written pattern. And watch the video and look at the pattern at the same time. And you learn a lot that way. But I find that's how I learned. And also with crochet, I also learned from I had done Selena Baca's lessons, and but she showed you a video tutorial, and there were the written the written patterns too. So it was basically the same thing where you could see how it was written up.
It's really helpful to have both of them at the same time.
But that's usually the best way to learn. And even still, like if it's something I haven't done before, a lot of times, I have to, sometimes I still have to pull up that video to see how something's done where I don't understand a written form of it.
I completely understand.
But that's more in crochet that I have to do that than knitting.
I find when I'm doing Tunisian, I can't necessarily remember all of the different terms. So I just look up a quick video and then like, oh, right, that's that one. And then I'm good to go.
I like with knitting, I have that trouble sometimes because like certain stitches you don't use as often. So if it's been a while since I've done a stitch, I have to go back and look up, okay, how is this stitch done again?
Yeah.
And if you come across something you don't know how to do, it's like just use YouTube, look for a tutorial, and
YouTube's my best friend.
And normally you'll find that a tutorial on it. Okay, let's see. Okay, Lisa says she's having internet issues, so she's going to have to watch the replay. Oh, I'm sorry you're having internet issues. Roberta says, I saved this live so I can come back to the patterns. Awesome. I hope, the patterns I share, I hope that, y'all have an interest in the patterns, that I'm sharing patterns that you bookmark to make later on, or you end up making them. But, if there's ever like a certain type of pattern you want me to try to, show on my lives, just email me, let me know. Like if you're looking for maybe like a shawl or something, I could possibly do some lives with shawl patterns, and maybe something will inspire you.
I'm on a shawl kick right now. Where I am, winter is just ending. We had snow this week, and the grass just turned green. We noticed yesterday driving home. It's like, oh wait, it's green. So we're transitioning. So it's heat in the morning, air conditioning in the afternoon. So shawls are perfect.
I love shawls. I think like they're my favorite thing to crochet and knit, which makes me curious. What's your favorite thing to crochet or knit?
I love amigurumis. I love making them for other people. You can just personalize them so easily, and they usually work out pretty quickly, and it's something that even if you don't use a shawl or don't wear a hat, everybody can find a space for a cute little amigurumi. But I also love shawls. And one of my favorite things to make is historical knee socks. I love working in silk and bamboo yarn, and I have a pattern perfected to fit my very large calves and long legs, and I always have a pair on the go.
Awesome. Let's see. Roberta says she's done the dragon scale gloves. Ooh. I'd love to see a picture of them. Now, one thing like I want to probably after I finish, like I'm gonna finish the shawl that I'm working on, then I'm probably gonna design another shawl pattern. Then I think I'm gonna finally try to make a gnome. Roberta's gotten me wanting to make gnomes.
What kind of gnome are you going to make? An alien gnome?
I don't know yet. which one I'm going to do.
I saw one with a waffle hat. I want a waffle gnome.
Some of it probably will, like it could be based on what time of the year I make it, because
Mhm.
kind of do more for the season or the holiday. Um, so that's gonna kind of base my decision and or whatever I just think is cute or I really like.
I'll find the right one.
Let's see, Deanna joined us. Hi, Deanna. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? So, Rebekah, what would you say is the most challenging thing that you've made?
I worked on a very long, very intricate scarf with very thin, colorful yarn. Like it was blues and purples and teals, like that colorway. And I beaded it as I went. So I was knitting it, adding beads every couple stitches. So you're balancing the yarn, trying to remember the pattern, trying to put the tiny little beads on this tiny little yarn while I was traveling. That was
That's
the hardest thing. It was so worth it in the end. It was beautiful, but it oh, making it lost the fun after the first 18 inches.
aw.
Yeah, but
But
it's worth it in the end.
I have wanted to knit with beads. That's something that I do want to learn to do or do down the road type thing.
Yeah, no, there's two ways you can do it. You can either feed them all on at the beginning and then keep moving them up, but I find it almost strips your yarn and fluffs it up as it goes. I use a little bit of fishing line, and when I come to the next stitch that needs a bead, I just put the fishing line through the stitch, feed both ends of the fishing line through the bead, and then flip the stitch off the needle, pull the bead down, flip it back on and knit it. That's the easiest way to do it.
I'll have to play around. One day I'll finally get around to doing beads.
The effect is so worth it, but it's a whole nother craft.
And the thing is, I have so much I want to do and learn. And it's just, when I get to it.
Yeah, I hear retirement is great. I'd like to retire and knit all day.
Let's see, we have VJ that joined us. Hi, VJ. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Deanna's making another blanket, finished her daughter's, and hubby wants one. Ooh, awesome. Yeah, I need to save your picture in my folder. She had sent it to me on Messenger. I need to remember to save it. Um, but yeah, oh, I didn't tell y'all about this. So last night I'm sleeping and I was dreaming and I actually remembered my dream. And I was talking in my sleep too. And the weird thing was I kind of realized that I was because I dreamed there were these group of people like sitting in our yard. And I just like opened the front door and I just start talking to them, you know. And I'm not even like, what are you doing? I wasn't like, get off my yard or anything like that. It was like I was all welcoming to them. And I'm like, okay, if people were just like singing your yard, you'd be like, okay, what are you doing? So I just start talking to them and like, I'm saying stuff like out loud, like, you know, hi, how you doing today? Things like that. But then later, I think my dream kind of shifted where I think someone was like doing, like messing around on the side of the house. And I was kind of like, what are you doing? And I mean, I'm here saying all this stuff out loud. And Frank's like, you were talking in your sleep. And I was like, I thought I was.
I talk in my sleep too. I will have an entire conversation and my husband will talk back to me and I'll answer him, but not remember any of it. Like I'll explain, he'll ask me like, what did you just say? Who are you talking to? And I'll tell him. I'll tell him who I'm talking to.
Now Frank will say some crazy stuff in his sleep. One time he was talking about his elbows being pregnant.
Oh.
And we crack up about that. We still bring that up. His pregnant elbows.
My little guy, Oliver, my friend was expecting a baby, and he told me that he was going to have a baby fishy whose name was Skittle, and it was going to pop right out his belly button.
Yeah, the stuff that children come up with.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love kids. They keep life interesting.
Let's see. VJ says she's working on counting my blessings shawl. Ursula's shawl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty shawl.
It is.
Okay.
It's also on my list.
I guess I'll ask you one more question and then we'll start wrapping up because it's about that time. Let's see. Oh, how long have you been crocheting and knitting?
I visited my grandmother in Newfoundland when I was about 11 for the summer, and I was driving her crazy. So she sat me down and she taught me how to make a chain. And I made a very, very, very long chain. And it just went from there. I started knitting when my boys were little, so about 14 years ago. I started spinning about 10 years ago. And I just keep adding crafts. But I've been crocheting the longest.
See, I'm like backwards. I started off with knitting, then I learned crochet. Where most people, it's the opposite, or they struggle learning how to knit. But I struggled to learn how to crochet.
Okay. I tried knitting and then gave up on it, and then had my boys and went back to it, and it just seemed a whole lot easier than I remembered.
See, with crochet, that's basically, I tried it years ago and I couldn't get it. And then like I started doing loom knitting, then I learned how to knit. Then I decided to try crochet again. And, you know, I found that Selena Bacchus lessons that I did, they were so thorough and I picked it up easily from her.
Sometimes you just need the right explanation.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, we have Regina that joined us, which unfortunately we're fixing to wrap up, Regina, but I do hope you go back and watch the replay. So, like I said earlier in this video, I am planning to cut back in May, where I'll go back to doing three lives a week instead of 4. And I'm torn between which one I'm going to cut back, if it's going to be the Wednesday evening live or the Thursday morning. So I'm going to be doing a poll shortly, and let me go check the poll out on my community page and let me know which one, I don't know how I'll word it yet, but either which one works better or which one you
prefer.
Yeah. But yeah, now if I keep the Thursday morning, I probably will push back the start time, where it's probably going to be around like 10:30ish instead of as early in the morning. That way I have more time to get prepared before going live. Yeah, be looking for that. And also, I want to remind everybody, the 5 Yarnaholics will be going live on my channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope y'all can make it to that live. And we're going to have some small prizes. So, Rebekah, is there anything you want to say before?
Well, I posted a video this morning for my 100 subscriber giveaway, and I'm slowly creeping up to 100. But if you want to go check that out, and it's open worldwide.
Awesome. Yeah. Y'all go check that out. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but y'all go check out Rebekah's channel. She has an amazing channel. And the link for her channel is in the description box of this live and also pinned to the top of the chat. And let's see, we have Christy that joined us. Hi, Christy. How are you doing? We're wrapping up, but I am glad you stopped by to say hello, and I hope you catch the replay. And also, I don't know if you know, Christy, I had sent you an email like last Sunday. I don't know if you got it or not, but I just wanted to let you know I did send you an email. But anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything for today's live. So I want to thank y'all for watching today. I enjoyed chatting with all of y'all.
Thanks for having me here.
Yes, and thank you for coming live with me. I enjoyed getting to know you better and chatting with you. But yeah, those that watch the replay, please leave a comment, let us know. And I hope all of y'all are having a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light, and bye.